Hello everyone, this is a side-by-side comparison of the even newer, better RGB grady gauges and the previous batch of 14 color grady gauges. So what we are doing is a side-by-side comparison of the newer and the older grady gauges. Just so you know, the RGB are the newest grady gauge that we have in stock, and also we will not be selling any more 14 color gauges because just when we thought the 14 color is good enough, we found another one better, the RGB. Okay, so what you see here is 1 out of 10 different opening and closing ceremonies you can choose from on the RGB gauge. You don't get this on the 14 color, and this is just one of the many things the RGB does better than the 14 color. The 14 color is already a very good replica by itself, you know, it does its job, it's quick, but the RGB is a notch better. Let me explain. Oh, and before we start, you might want to note that from the outside, you can still barely see any differences between the two grades. You see it has similar grady logo, everything is very similar. So on the left is the RGB and on the right is the 14 color. Okay, first things first, the RGB has better illumination compared to the 14 color. What I mean by that is that it not only illuminates better, but it's more vibrant and it has more vivid colors when compared to the 14 color. Let's do a side-by-side comparison of the two colors. Okay, so let's go to color settings here, and okay, white. You can see very clearly that the RGB, you know, the RGB just looks better. Green, see, blue, white. It might not look very obvious in camera, but if you are looking at the gauges in real life, you can see how much more bright and how much more vivid the colors are when comparing the two gauges side to side. Okay, so first thing, the color vibrant and brighter LED, better graphic, better pixels, and secondly, we call the 14 color a 14 color because it has 14 colors to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It has 14 colors to choose from, therefore a 14 color gauge. But the RGB, we call it the RGB because there's a set RGB here. Okay, so what the RGB has, it has 7 standard color scheme, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's a RGB setting. This means that there's a total of 2,997 color variations. There is 999 color variations for each alphabet here. R 999, G 999, B 999. If you add that up, it means that you have 7 standard colors plus a total of 2,997 color variations to choose from. $999. Oh, it went down. Just let me turn off the room light. Okay, you can see now that it has a slight green tone to it. So if we continue, it's getting a little yellow, and I believe it should be pinkish. Yep, it's turning purple, pink. So this is just one of another better functions that the RGB has to offer compared to the 14 colors. Next, and then there's the standard 14 colors lah. Okay. So this is number 2 of what the RGB does better than the 14 colors. Another interesting function to note is, as you can see here in the menu, color setting menu, you have 4 options to choose from: day color control, night color control, day dimmer, and night dimmer. While on the RGB, you will only have 3. color control, day dimmer and night dimmer. So this means that you can only set one color for the 14 color. Sorry, what I mean is you can only set one color for the older 14 color gauge. So in the morning the gauge will be brighter, and then when you turn on your headlights, the gauge will dim down with the same color. But with the RGB, you can set one color for daytime and one color for nighttime. So when you turn on your headlights, the gauge will switch color. Also, we notice that there's some very minor details of the RGB that we consider superior to the 14 color. As you can see here, I'm gonna go to the day dimmer. Okay, you see, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, while on the RGB it's a 0 to 99 scale. So this is just one of the few bits and pieces of details you can go into exploring more when you are using the RGB to the 14 color lah. So we consider this a better function than we consider this on the RGB a better gauge than the 14 color. So number 3, the RGB gauges perform on par with the 14 colors when it comes to accuracy and responsiveness. Actually, in our recent temperature test, the RGB actually scored better than the 14 colors in terms of plus minus accuracy, because we are only able to test so many features. Because the, let's say, boost and RPM and vacuum, oil pressure, we do not have professional equipment to take the reading, so we are only able to test water temperature, oil temperature, and so on. Lastly, everybody loves customizability. The RGB has 10 opening and closing ceremonies you can choose from instead of the usual 6 beeps on the 14 color. This function is not available on the 14 color. So let's see. You have the LCD display, you have the color control, you have the peak, you have the chime setting, you have the peak reading, and you have the you have the RPM limiter, and then that's it. While on the RGB, you have the LCD, color, peak, chime, peak, RPM setting, and then you have an additional menu for the opening and closing ceremony. So number 1 is the standard 6 beeps, and then let's go to number 6. Okay, let's disconnect the 14 color just to avoid any confusion. You see, so there's 10 different opening and closing ceremonies for the RGB gauges. Let's try out number 8. So this is what we meant when we say the RGB is superior to the 14 colors, to the 14 color gauge in a lot of ways. We have just recently made the change from the RGB to the 14 color, and we are quite happy that we did so. Let me wire the gauge up. Okay, so in general, the RGB replica has more to offer when it comes to customizing and setting the gauge. More functions, more setting options with the same performance. I mean, why not, right? Also, they are more durable than the 14 color gauges. In terms of better quality overall, better feeling, you know, it just feels better than the 14 color. And also with the 14 color gauge, there were only 6 with the older 14 color gauge. There were only 6 models available, namely water temp, oil pressure, RPM, boost, and vacuum. But with the newer RGB gauge, there's an additional voltage. So the voltage is just it's more like a decoy gauge lah. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Like us on Facebook, JC FITMENT. Follow us on Instagram, jc.fitment. If you have any inquiries, leave them in the comment below. I'll try to answer as many as possible. If you are interested in purchasing one of our Grady gauges, we do ship worldwide. We accept payment through PayPal. You just need to contact us via WhatsApp, or you can order on our website. Okay, and that's about it. Thank you very much.